Turns 4 on Thursday. Even as it celebrates its 4th Independence Day anniversary, the world's youngest nation has been embroiled in a civil war for at least 18 months now. Now we sat down with Dr. Riek Machar, the rebel leader and one of the independence movement heroes of the country. I began by asking him what he makes of the swearing in of President Salva Kiir for a 3rd term beginning this evening.
The act is still unconstitutional. Salva Kiir, even if they're swearing him in, Salva Kiir has usurped the power of the people. The first priority for him should be reaching a peace agreement. He has failed to reach a peace agreement, and as I said, in the midnight of this day, it becomes illegitimate. If they're swearing him in, we don't recognize that. And I know the people of South Sudan would not recognize it because they would tell him they have not elected him for another term.
Dr. Machar, should we then assume that the rebellion or the resistance, as you prefer to call it, in South Sudan will continue?
I think he would have a very, very difficult time. In a very short time, he will find that the best solution would have been to work for a peaceful settlement of the conflict.
Do you plan to overthrow him?
We don't plan. We are resisting already his regime. I believe the people will overthrow him. You know, he's imposing. He's imposing himself on the people. He has usurped the power of the people. And somebody who usurps the power of the people, what would be the fate of such a person? The people will uprise against him. You know, he can't delude himself.
So are you telling the people of South Sudan to overthrow Mr. Kiir, the legally elected president of South Sudan? Are you calling for a coup?
Well, the people of South Sudan will know that their power has been usurped by a president whose period has expired, you know, and they will make the decision whether to uprise, overthrow him, or join us in the struggle against him. This will be left to the people of South Sudan.
Incidentally, the 9th of July, the day that you say President Kiir's mandate comes to an end, is also the same time that you celebrate your independence, your 4th independence anniversary. Was the struggle worth it, Dr. Machar?
Oh, the struggle for independence, beautiful. I feel I have a country, you know. Even if we now have a despot in Juba, it was worth it. And even the struggle to make Salva Kiir resign is a struggle that is worth it. Our people deserve better than what Salva Kiir is giving them.
The people of South Sudan looked up to Dr. John Garang, they looked up to you, and they even looked at Mr. Kiir to deliver them. They are now once again looking up to you to deliver them. What will it take for you to deliver the people of South Sudan?
We delivered them to independence, of which we are proud of which they deserve, because they have struggled for centuries to be free, and they became free. Now we have a government which is misgoverning the country. That government must go, you know. If it were not because Salva Kiir purposely caused this war, Salva Kiir would not have been elected if the elections were conducted in March or in April. A new president would be in now.
International community is increasingly growing frustrated. They say that you have let the people down. They say you have lost the goodwill that was there 4 years ago when you got your independence, when there was celebration, when there was a lot of hope. They feel let down. What would you say to them? What would you tell the international community now?
It is their inaction that is frustrating them. And the fact that they condone despots who extend term limits, that frustrates them.
You have asked Mr. Kiir to take responsibility for atrocities that have happened during this time of the conflict. Would you be willing to take responsibility as Dr. Machar?
I'm a leader and I take responsibility.
War crimes? Genocide? sexual crimes?
I don't think there has been war crimes or sexual crimes that had been committed by our movement since we established ourselves in April. But other incidences had happened before. That will help the international community in investigating them.
Thank you, Dr. Machar, for having us. We've been speaking to Dr. Riek Machar on South Sudan's 4th Independence Day anniversary, a day just after President Salva Kiir was sworn in for another 3-year term for his country. It also comes at a time when South Sudan is still struggling to put its house in order. Thousands have died and millions are displaced due to a conflict that has been running for at least 18 months now. We'll be keeping a watch on South Sudan, and you can be sure to receive all those reports here on SABC News. From Nairobi, I am Sarah Kimani. Until next time, it's goodbye.